Once, in a wind-torn field at the edge of a forgotten town, there stood two scarecrows, though to call them such would be a disservice to both language and invention. One was a marvel of crude mechanics, pieced together from iron joints and discarded clockwork. The other, a sagging, worn thing, its burlap skin stretched over rusting supports, its form slowly giving way to time. They were the pride of the farmer who built them, a man named Elias who had once dreamed of greatness but settled for utility. The townsfolk rarely paid them any mind, except to marvel at how they remained standing against the howling winds. In their solitude, they conversed in the only way abandoned things know how, with thoughts too heavy for flesh and words unspoken but understood. The mechanical one, its brass fingers rigid from exposure, was the first to break the silence. Do you ever wonder if we were made for something more than this? The tattered scarecrow, whose limbs had stiffened into a permanent slump, gave a weary chuckle, if such a thing were possible without breath. More than what? Standing here, swaying to the whims of forces greater than us? What more could there be? The mechanical one clicked as it processed this, gears shifting in contemplation. I mean, something beyond just scaring crows. What if we could move, explore, shape the world, rather than merely endure it? The old scarecrow sighed. Ah, the old illusion. Movement is not the purpose. Look at the farmer who built us. He moves plenty, but does he go anywhere? No, he only circles the same plot of land, lamenting what he never became. To move is not to live, and yet here we stand, motionless, but witnessing everything. The mechanical one buzzed, its gears tightening with frustration. But witnessing isn't doing. The farmer built me with precision, yet he never finished my legs. I could have walked. I could have been more. The old scarecrow tilted its head. And if you had walked, where would you go? Silence. A crow landed atop the iron shoulder of the mechanical one, its claws tapping against metal like a ticking clock. It cawed, indifferent to their existential quandary. The old scarecrow continued. The crows we were built to scare. They don't fear us. They see what we are. Motionless figures pretending to be authorities. And yet, here they are, thriving. Do you know why? The mechanical one hesitated. Because they aren't bound like we are? The old scarecrow chuckled again, the sound like dry leaves caught in the wind. Number. Because they take what they can, when they can, and they don't apologize for it. They don't sit around lamenting what they could be. They simply are. The mechanical scarecrow processed this for some time, gears whirring, steam occasionally hissing from a valve in its back. Finally, it spoke. So, you're saying we should just accept that we are scarecrows and let the wind dictate our fate? The old one shook its head. Not at all. I'm saying that fulfillment isn't in what you are, but how you are. The crows don't waste time regretting. They just take what's there. And the farmer? He has everything he ever needed, but he still looks at the horizon as if it owes him something. If he spent more time appreciating what is, rather than mourning what isn't, he'd be happier. The mechanical scarecrow thought about this long into the night, listening to the rustle of the wind and the occasional caw of the crows. For the first time, it realized it wasn't angry about being stuck. It was only angry because it had believed it should be. The sun rose, the wind blew, the scarecrows stood, content, And the crows, as always, thrived. Don't confuse movement with meaning. Running towards something is only worthwhile if you know where you actually want to go. Learn from the crows. Take what is in front of you and use it. Don't spend your life lamenting what isn't. Appreciate what is, rather than mourning what isn't. The difference between misery and fulfillment often lies in perspective, not circumstances.